Review sample Z on YouTube. Welcome back. So remember to like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell to be notified when new videos land. And today we're going to be looking at Windows states and related functions. Things like title, allows transparency, background, Windows state, Windows startup location, Windows style, cursor pointer, window sizing using buttons, positioning window on top of the taskbar, adding window size programmatically, window mouse down for dragging the window when it's in custom mode, for example like this here. I don't know if you can see that. So let's get into it. So I'll start by creating a new project. I'll create a new project here, so to be WPF application, and I'll click next. Then simply HOW how to in WPF how to in WPF Windows states and related functions. Okay, so I've already determined where I'm going to store my project. So select where to add your project there, then we'll click next. Then this will be forward compatible going forward. So you can do this in .NET 8, .NET 9, and I'm sure by the time you see this video, sometime within the next year, you can also do this in .NET 10. So the thing frameworks which will be supported will be .NET 8, .NET 9, and .NET 10. So let's get right into it. Let's create the project. Okay, so there we are. It has finished loading. So so just select that. Okay, so there's our window. Okay, so there's our window there. So let's get started. So the first thing we'll look at is title. So this is the title of this window here. Let me see if I can do this. So the title of the window is here. So let's look into that. Let's try to change the title there. So we could say HOW. So how to in WPF. So that's what you do if you want to change the title there. Then let's try to run that. Have a quick look at that. Okay, so there is our title there. So this is in the main window area that comes with the application by default. Okay, so then the next thing we can do, we can change height and resolution. So say height maybe 720, width okay, 1280. So that has I think increased by some let's see. Okay, no, it still looks the same. Okay, I won't be able to see things properly here, so I might as well just run the application so that you see what I'm talking about. Okay, so there the screen by default just looks even bigger than before. Then okay, so let's get right into that. So let's look at okay, let's make this a little bit more interesting. So let's look at the background. So background, we can give the background a different color. So come here, PACK. So do the background there. Then we'll just add this color here, just to make things, as usual, more interesting. Okay, so copy value. Let's see. Then hash that there, Control V, and enter. So there's our background there. Okay, so yeah, that looks convincing. So let's look into that. Okay, so background gives the background color of the application or the current window that you're running for that application. So this is the current window we're running for this application here, and that's the background color which has changed there. Then okay, so, so allows transparency is another function here, but this one comes in like this. So what we're going to do first is let me just come here first. Okay, window state, no, not window state, sorry. Window style. So for now, let's select none. Then we'll run the application. So there's something that's supposed to pop up on top of the application when it's running there. So we'll take care of that one now. There we are. There's the culprit I was telling you about. So it's this white bar on top there. So this one, to make this one disappear, we'll key in this function here. Then we have Windows style, okay. Then we'll key in this function here, ALLOWS, allows transparency. Then we'll say true. Okay, so we'll run that again. Okay, so at least things are running a bit faster today. Got a new timetable for lights, so it's a bit easier to get things done, you know. So there we are, that bar has disappeared. But then again, I think there should be, okay, the last project I was working on, okay, I think I know why there's transparency. There's some transparency to some degree on the previous project I was working on, but I added some extra layers to the application. Then I made this background like this background transparent. So okay, that is still running, so let's just hot reload that. Let's see if we can get some transparency here. Okay, apparently not. Okay, that's okay. So okay, I don't think that propagated. Oh, okay, all right. Okay, we already keyed in a physical color, so okay, we'll just get rid of this one. So don't worry, we're moving on now. So here we're going to look at window state. So window state, let's just put everything back to normal. Oh, sorry, no, that is window style. Just put everything back to normal there. So window state, we're going to start like this. Okay, so window state will be the default appearance of the default appearance you want for your window during runtime. So there'll be multiple options. So we can come here and select. So let's select maximized. Let's see what that will do. Okay, sorry, the application crashed. I forgot to remove our allows transparency there. So we're continuing. So our window state is maximized. So we continue. Okay, so that's the whole window in the maximized state within this thing. This built-in hub here. Okay. So this comes by default when you run the application, but you can make some customizations to that one. So the window is maximized. Let's see, minimized. So we select minimized, then save, then we come here. Okay, so that's the window. Brought it out of the minimized state. Then we can stop there. Then we can change the state of the window again depending on what we want, and put it back to normal. So normal, it will just start there, just like that. Okay, let's see. Okay, so in normal mode, so there we are. Then minimized mode, so let's just go back through that one again. Minimized mode there, then we'll select that. So it's minimized there, so we can maximize that. So this shell here allows minimize to be done like that, maximize to be done like that. Then you can close the application from right here. So this is the default shell that comes with the operating system. It envelopes itself around the application, so it comes within with these built-in features here. So we can close that one, and let's see what would be the next thing we'll look at here. Okay, so Windows startup location. So let's select just normal there. Then Windows startup location. Windows startup location. So we'll say center owner. So let's wait to start up there. So usually sometimes when you're running the application, the window come and start at the corner here. So that one is not that's hold on. So center owner, so that is not directly centered in the screen. Okay, let's do that again. So that would be center owner. Then center screen. Okay, so that is located directly in the center of the screen there. So it has started exactly where it would start if we selected the center screen option. Then I couldn't find anything that this one did, so I don't know. Okay, let's just see. But manual, during practice I tried that one, but okay, so manually I guess, yeah, that's the position it would be at, and think so we would stop there. Then here we'll just select the default, I guess. We'll say center screen, so we'll leave that there. Then we'll save. Then we'll go to the next. Okay, so okay, Windows Star. So let's look at Windows Star now. So like I was saying, this is the default shell. So this is the default shell that comes with the operating system. It envelopes itself around the application. It comes with these default functions and features here during runtime, like the ones which we have here. So these are, I think these ones are for Visual Studio, should be custom, but it's still the same concept and principle. So okay, let me bring this into perspective. Okay, we enter there. Okay, so Windows Star. So let's select. Okay, so Windows Star. So let's say tool window. Let's see what that will produce there. Okay, so just brings that close button there. So this would be like maybe for an option where you want to have a tool or something like that. Then you can close that one. So let's see the next one. So let me show you the next one. Okay, tool window, 3D border window. Let's see. Okay, so how I know this is supposed to work, this one, is in Windows Forms, when you select this function, this shell here appears in 3D form. I'm not sure why it's appearing different here and thing like that, but either way, that's what it's supposed to do, but it's not showing here. So we'll move on to the next one. So single border window, so this should be default. Default. Okay, so when I think a border is applied, that should take effect. Alright, so let's go to the next one. So single border window. Then I think you like this one. None. So none takes that shell away, then gives you guys the options to command. To come and customize your own shell functionality here. So this one will work in relation to allows transparency, true. So keying allows transparency, true again, and thing like that. So when we put this in, when we remove this one and just a single border, for example, it brings that back. So this shell does not work with allows transparency. With allows transparency, it gets into conflict and thing like that, because this has been activated. But when we do this here, then we come and select none, then the allows transparency will work with this shell here. Then it will remove, or to make that white bar, which is usually on top, of the application, to make that white bar disappear there. So we'll stop that there. Then let's see what else is there. Okay, so cursor pointer. So certain sections of the application. So let me just remove these again. We'll come and put them back, I promise. So certain sections of the application, or you find that the pointer changes into a different style of format. So CUR. Okay, so cursor. So we've got app starting. So if you select this one, it will mimic the functionality of the application starting. So you can have maybe like a loading window. So when the window finishes loading, this circle and the arrow will disappear like that. So it could be a style of window that you would select for that. Then the other type of cursor that you would select here would be where did I put the hand. I tried out hand during practice session. Okay, hand there. So hand would be a certain part of the window, a certain part of the application where that would be required there. So you choose that one. Then there's a whole list here of other cursors you can choose from. So we have app starting, arrow CD, cross, hand, help, I-beam, no, none, pen, scroll O, scroll E, scroll N, scroll NE, scroll NS, scroll NW. So this should be north, northeast, north, south, northwest, scroll south, scroll southeast, scroll southwest, scroll west, scroll west east, size O, size northeast, west south, I'm assuming, north south, northwest east, size west east, up arrow, weight. Then let's see what weight will do. Okay, so run that one. So those will be different types of windows you'd have in your application where the cursors might be needed like that. So okay, here we go. This is another one. Okay, so gone through all those, so you might find that useful in the next application you're building. Okay, so then we say Control S, so we'll save. Then okay, so I think we're going to do a bit of some window sizing using buttons, but for this part of the video we're going to do this. We'll get rid of the default shell. Window style, so we'll say window style, none. Then we'll come and do our own customizations for this section. We'll be real quick about this. So so we're going to do this. I'm going to get that background. We'll take that background away, then we'll save. Then in our grid here we'll create a border. Then border, we'll come and do this. So that background, we'll put it here. Okay, then So our corner radius, let's say 25. Then we'll press S. So press S there, so save that. Then this background is the one which you are seeing there, that's the one which is showing white. So we'll do this for that background. We'll make it we'll make it transparent. Okay, and there we are. So that is transparent there. So we're going to do this inside this border. We'll do this. We'll have okay, so we'll have another grid. So on this grid we have let's see, okay, let's see, something might be okay. So okay, one moment, I'll be back. Okay, so sorry about that, my computer was acting funny. So we're supposed to actually do this. So grid dot, this function wasn't loading from an IntelliSense point of view. Okay, so let's get back. So grid dot row definitions. So we're going to create 2 rows here. Okay, so okay, row definition, we'll just close that off. And I have another one. Let's duplicate that, Control D. Okay, row definition. Then okay, we'll come here. Height, let's say 10 star. Then this one will be HEIGHT, height also. This will be 90 star. Okay, so there we are. So we'll be dealing with the top row there. So in the top row there, we're going to add another grid. Let's create some space there. Okay, so here we go. So we'll create another grid. So this grid by default is in grid row 0. This is grid row 0. So we'll say okay, we'll say GRIDROW, grid row ZERO. So we'll just comment that out there. So this grid is located there. Then in this one we'll have grid dot okay, column definitions. Okay, so we'll come there. Then there we'll do this. So here we just want okay, we'll start like this. Column definition. Okay, then duplicate that column definition, Control D, and Control D. So this one, we'll say 6, 7, 8, 9, 7. Okay, so we'll say WIDTH. with this, we'll say 70 star. Then this one will be with this 10 star. Then this one here again width will be 10 star. Then okay, another width again will be 10 star there. So I have 3 of these here, so our buttons will come here. Then we'll make one more. So this one will just be, let me duplicate this one. Okay, so this one will just be, let's say like 3 star. So a buffer there. Oh, let me see, that's a bit too big. No, not 3, sorry, I keep pressing. Okay, 2, or we can say not 21 but 1 star. Okay, so that should be enough there. Just take a buffer there. Then here, this one we'll just say 69. So that's 69 plus 1, that is 70. Then plus 10, 80, 90, 100. So everything is configured out like that, configured up like that. Then we'll come here. We'll begin with our buttons here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 buttons. So just put the button control. So select button there. So I'll say WIDTH with this of the button, AUTO, so that to fit into the box there. Auto, height, AUTO, auto. Then just close that off. Then we'll duplicate this. Control D, Control D. So I have 3 there. So let's just bring this into perspective. Okay, so auto, auto, auto there. Then we have, this is column 0, column 1, column 2, column 3. We're not going to use column 4. So we'll start with this one here. I'll say grid, grid.column 0, 1, 2, 3. Grid.column 3. So that's in column 3. So which means these other 2 come in column 2. Come in column 1 there. Okay, so there are our buttons. Okay, so but for this one, what we're going to do, we'll create an extra column here. Just duplicate that one. Okay, so we have an extra column there. So this will go in 4. 3, 2. I'm going to duplicate that. Okay, in this case I press Control C, so we'll come here. 1. Okay, so there we are. So the reason why I've chosen to have 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons here, I'll show you guys later on. Okay, then let me prepare a folder. Okay, so here we are the folder. Okay, all right, so let's see. Okay, we just go, this color will look nice black. All right, Okay, coffee black. So I'm just going to select some icons, so don't worry about this. We'll look at this in another video. So say okay, full screen. Okay, so I'll just get that one. Minimize. Okay. Minimize. Okay. Then normal. Okay. So I'll select that one. Then okay. Okay, let's select that one. Okay, all right. So we'll just keep that folder there and get that icon package out of the way. Okay. So we start with the button grid column 4. So this one. Let's see. Image brush. Okay, image and source source. Okay, so let's close that off. Okay, we'll be back to look at this one. Let's just do this real quick. So here we're going to add a folder. Images. Okay, then we'll come here. So what we're going to do is just rename this. So I like to use lowercase letters. Follow the .NET MAUI naming convention. So say CLOSEWINDOW, close window. So put an underscore there. Compress, or say rename minimize window. Underscore. Let's get rid of the capital letter there. So this will be in the starter kit, so no need to worry. Then normal size, and also normal window. Shift underscore WINDOW. Normal full screen. So say full window underscore. Okay, then I'm just going to copy this. So this will be in the starter kit. The links for the starter kit will be in the description section, so don't worry about anything. Okay, then we'll come and put this here. So paste them there. So we're going to need this. Then what we're going to do now is good practice convention here. So we're going to come right click there, then we'll do these properties. Then build action will be content, then copy to output directory, copy if newer. So we'll keep that like that there. Then yeah, we'll get back to our solution. Okay, so there. So source, so come here. Images out capital letter. Let's see if this will work. Full window. Oops, okay. Underscore. Not PNG. Okay, so there's our full window in the wrong place. We're supposed to have close window, so let's do this. Close window. Okay, so this is our close button. Alright, then we'll come and do the same here. Then we'll just get this image tag, then we'll put it there. Then we'll come and do the same here. Then we'll just paste in that image tag. Then we'll come and do the same here. Then we'll paste in that image tag there. So here's what we're going to do. So I've got our close window. Then we have full window. Full window. Then we have normal window. Normal window. Then we have minimize. Minimize window. Okay, so there are 4 icons. So how it is this tool will usually be in one grid section. Then when you click on this one, this button will disappear. Then this button will appear. When this button appears, you click on this one will disappear, then this one will appear. So there are our buttons there. So let's get right into now the actual part of this section here. So window sizing using buttons there. Okay, so what to do, we'll give the button a name first, X name, give it an X name. So here we'll say minimize. Minimize button. Minimize button. So when dealing with variables, this is what I recommend the convention use for naming your variables like this, because it becomes easier when trying to track down errors, especially when you're using AI to track down errors. So English like names for the variables, they help a lot like this. So we'll maintain this naming convention for the variables for the button. So come and do the next one, then X that there, then name, this one will be normal. Okay, normal. So here we go. Okay, normal button. Then come and X name this one also. So next name this one. So say full BUTTON, full button. Okay, then we'll come and X name the last one on now. So X name. Okay, so this one will be CLOSEBUTTON, close button. Okay, so there we are. So we've given the button some variable names there. Okay, so let's start with the simple, straightforward one. Okay, so we're not going to deal with anything to do with UI design. This will be a bit technical here. So double click our button. Oh, sorry, not here. We'll double click our button here. Okay, we'll double click our button here. So our button is loaded there. So this will be a close button. So this one will say, we'll use a strongly typed exit function. So say environment dot exit parentheses, open close parentheses, then 0 inside, then 0 inside there. So just hold on. Okay, so there's a typo here, INVIRO. Okay, environment.exit. Okay, so we stop there. Okay, so sorry, we save there, and that's our first button. which is working there. Just one moment, I'll be back. Okay, and we're back, so let's continue. So that's our first function which we have keyed in. So let's key in some more functions again. So this one is the full window button, so double click on that one. Okay, so I have the full window button. So for the full window button, we're going to do this. Window state equals not normal but window state dot maximized. So window state dot maximized. Okay, so there we go. So that's our full button. So we'll come back here again. Then this will be the normal button. So I'll say window window state equals window state dot, in this case, normal. So close that off. Okay, then just save that one. Then we'll come again. Our next one, this one will be okay. All right, minimized. So say window state equals window state again dot mini. Okay, minimized. So that will shrink it to the taskbar there. When you click on this one, then okay, then let's just do this. Where do we put that padding here? Padding here. No, we don't have here. Okay, so let's see MAR margin. So I hope this works. Okay, so got some margin around there. Okay, so we don't want that to interfere with the functionality of the button, the whole functionality. So we'll just add that there. Okay, and there and there. Okay, so yeah, that looks interesting there. Okay, so we've got our window sizing using buttons. So window state maximized, window state minimized, window state normal. Okay, so let's just run the application. Let's see that in action. Oh, okay, looks funky. Okay, so let's see that one. Oh, nice. And that one. Okay, and that one. Okay, so that's how they work. So let's address this issue here with this white bar here. So come to the top of our application, so Windows Startup application. So let's just bring this into perspective. Okay, then here ALOWS allows transparency. That will be so true. Okay, then width auto, height auto. Okay, it is supposed to be auto. So let's bring this into perspective here. That's supposed to span 2 columns. Yep. Wait a minute. Where did it go? Okay, sorry. Let's just so there's no width here. We just height. Okay, so we'll do this. So I think there's some functionality which just script up automatically. I think when we're clicking the image, okay, when we're clicking the button there to create the method, okay, so we got that there. So let's bring some of this into perspective here. Then we got that there. Then we got that there. Then okay. Yeah. What's wrong with our close button? Speak to me. Okay, height auto, grid column span, horizontal alignment right. Okay, so yeah. Four. Okay, got your one grid there. So height auto with this auto. Okay, so okay, do that. Okay, we'll do that. So we'll do that. So we'll do that. Okay, then we'll save that. So let's run that again. Let's see how that will look with allows transparency in the changes we've made. Okay, all right, so we maximize that. Okay, then we come and minimize that. Then, normal then come and minimize that. Then we might bring it back to normal. Then we can close the application. And okay, so that's okay there. So now positioning window on top of the taskbar. Let's see. Did it position automatically? Is there some feature that is built into the SDK for WPF for that to happen? Let's see. No, this is directly on top of the taskbar, so-called the taskbar like that. So it's overlapping. So what we're going to look at now is to make sure that when this maximizes, it sits on top here exactly. So not behind this taskbar here. Like though this one sitting on top of this one sitting on top, yeah. Like though this the start menu is sitting on top of the taskbar there. So then this is hiding the taskbar, so we can't see other function other applications that we want to get to real quick. So we just close that, and we'll go to the code behind. So the code behind, what we're going to do is in the initialization stage to position window on top of the taskbar. We're going to do this in the initialize component. So this works like this. This dot max height equals system parameters. System parameters no, not bother with this. Maximized primary screen. So that will be MAX. Maximized primary screen height. Okay, maximize primary screen height. Then we'll close that off there. So what this one does, so this gets a value that indicates that the height in pixels adjusted for DPI of a maximized top level window on the primary display monitor. So in short, what this does is it subtracts the height of this bar here from the height of the from the height of the window when it's during runtime there. Then in runtime there, that bar will appear on top here. So what this one is doing is it's subtracting the height of this bar from the total height of this application, and that's how it's sitting on top here. Then you can see the wallpaper in the background there. Then we're going to do the same, okay, here with that line of code we've put there. So let's see what we got when we maximize, and that is sitting on top of the taskbar. Yeah, sitting on top of the taskbar there to some extent, I guess, but that's not causing any issues of sorts. So then can minimize that, then can maximize that, then normalize, then maximize, then yeah, the usual close there. So let's look at the next thing. I'm going to look at now Okay, so here what we're going to do is adding window size programmatically. So the default window size here is what? In the main window here, it's 720 1208. Sorry, that's not supposed to be 1208. 720 1280. So let's see if we can change this height and width from a programmatic point of view. So we'll come here in the initialization there. So this is what we do. THIS this dot height of the application window at runtime. So we're not going to get this max height, no, not just yet. We're going to do this instead. So this, instead of max height here, we're going to do this is 920, then THIS this dot WIDTH 1640, then we'll close that off. Then let's say, I hope there won't be any conflicts. Control S with this line of code here. So let's run that there. Okay, so that has been keyed in programmatically there, so no problem. So the default window size in the XAML layer is 720 1280. Then at a programmatic layer, it's 920 1640. So you can do that programmatically. If you guys want, then you can do the maximize, the normalize there. So we can add the thing window size programmatically if you guys want, or you can just leave things the way they are in the XAML section of the application. So we'll press stop there. Then let's move on to the next thing here. So okay, so here we're going to do window mouse down. So window mouse down will enable us to do something like this. Let me see. So what's the thing that's more apparent here? Is it the border? The grid? No, the grid is not synced, so it's here. So MOUSE. So mouse down. So create a method there, an event handler, a new one. So border mouse down. So everything to do with the application is in the border section there. So go to the main window. So our newly created method. Then our newly created method, we're going to do this. We utilize this variable here. So it's going to go like this: if bracket e dot left button. So left button double equals. Okay, so it has suggested what we are intending on typing, so we'll just let it do that, no problem. Then we'll get rid of that bracket there. Then we'll just come here. Then we'll say drag, drag move. Okay, so then we'll do that. Then we'll do that there. So on the border area now of the window in the application. So we'll just save that. So let's run that. Okay. All right, here we go. Then there we are. So long as we put that mouse down event or mouse down function within a control space area, for example like a border, then we'll be able to, okay, I'll bring this into the normal state. We'll be able to drag the window like that. So these are just some features that are related to window state and things like that. Let me check. What else do we have? I'm sure I prepared even more than this. Okay, so this presentation has been all about window states and related functions. So look at all the related functions to window states. So this is the end of this video, review samples Z on YouTube. Remember to like, subscribe, share the video, hit the notification bell to be notified when a new video lands. And this is the end of this presentation piece. So the links will be in the description for the starter kit. And yeah, I'll see you guys in another video. I don't probably want to see something to do with responsive design, but I don't think there's anything to do with responsive design in the Giant checklist. This is the new Giant checklist. So these will be videos. These videos will be part of the new Giant checklist that I've put together. So this is the first of the videos I've done. There'll be another one. Then yeah, see you guys later.